Hello everyone and welcome on this new midweek analysis video from Xtreme Trader. This is Salah speaking. So as we can see, my friends, all of the signals which I have sent to here last Saturday have actually went in the right direction, but none of them have been triggered. So as we can see, most of the signals are already close to the take profit level. So anyway, it's early Tuesday, and I believe it's the time to release the midweek analysis video, because we need to give some more time to the late week analysis video and of course the Friday analysis one. So let's now begin with the midweek analysis, and let's begin with the Euro USD. So now regarding the Euro USD, what I believe here is happening here, my friends, is that the Euro USD is actually going to continue the fall. Now we can see here the pattern of head and shoulders have almost been completed, and now we can see that the Euro USD is indeed going to continue the fall, and that can be seen by respecting this level of a resistance as 0.97300. We can see that the market has indeed respected that level of a resistance. Now the market is indeed facing actually a support level right there. Exactly right here at 0.96801. Now it's making a pullback upon the pressure from that resistance, and now we can actually expect to continue shorting the Euro USD exactly on the highest level of a resistance right there at 0.97454. I'm just moving the signal right there to tell you that we can most likely continue shorting the the Euro USD from that level, and that can be confirmed by using, of course, the magic of resistance trend lines. Again, my friends, this is a strategy that is available on my channel. You can watch it for free. Just look up on my videos on my channel, search for a video called the magic of trend lines. It's a two-part videos, and you can actually understand this strategy more. So what we can do right here is simply draw the resistance trend line from this higher high to this lower high, and simply drag the same level of the same line which you have drawn, drag it all the way to the nearest resistance trend line, and boom, now you're there. Now we can see that the market indeed respected that level as a support trend line, again as a resistance trend line. Sorry about that. Again, resistance trend line, and then we had here a major false breakout, meaning that resistance trend line is still actually being a resistance trend line. It just became a small support trend line for a small attempt, for just very few pips before finally the market breaks out again from it and respects it again as a resistance trend line. Now we can continue shorting the Euro USD once the market reaches the same level of the resistance trend line. It's gonna be a resistance trend line number 2, and of course it's gonna be right here a resistance number 2 as well, because this is, my friends, resistance number 1. So right here it's gonna be the second attempt. This is, by the way, 1, not 2. Let me just make it correct. Resistance number 1. This is resistance number 1, and the market most likely, after reaching this level, is gonna create a resistance number 2, and hence we can continue shorting the pound. Keep saying the pound USD. It's Euro USD. It's Euro USD. Okay, we can continue shorting the Euro USD from that level again as a resistance which has been respected as a resistance and as a support for 2 times as well. And of course, my friends, the target is gonna remain just the same. So meaning I'm just going to edit the signal to make it 0.97454, and I believe we are aiming right now 209 pips profit from this signal, and that's everything for the I keep saying the pound USD. Let's move to the pound USD. Let's move to the pound. Obviously my tongue is just want to say pound USD. I have no idea why. Anyway, now regarding the pound USD, I'm going to keep just the same analysis from the last weekly analysis video, and I'm going to use just the same resistance trend line which we have drawn here already. So we can see right now that we're having here the same resistance level of resistance trend line on that resistance attempt. This is resistance number 1, of course. So right now we can still expect from the pound USD, finally I'm saying it right, to continue rising. First of all, it's going to be respecting the same level of a resistance trend line to create this second attempt of it. And also we need to look at the left right now to consider if there is any strong resistance level, but I believe there is nothing right now here. So we have to fully rely on the resistance trend line. What we can do right now, my friends, is simply move to the smaller time frame, such as the 30-minute time frame. Now on the 30-minute time frame, we can notice clearly that we are having here a resistance level. Exactly right there. Pay attention. There, exactly right here at 1.11322, we can notice, my friends, that the market has already formed a new resistance after creating here 3 attempts of a support exactly on the same level. Then we had here the bearish breakout candle, and the market has created here a resistance number 1. So right now we can expect from the market to continue rising. First of all, it's gonna create this second attempt of the resistance right here, and also it's gonna hit the same level of a resistance trend line. Now this is very interesting. If we look right now at the 30-minute time frame, what we can see here, my friends, is really interesting. We can see that the market has actually been respecting this level as a resistance trend line number 1, 2, and 3. And then the market has made here a major false breakout as a resistance trend line. So most likely once the market reaches that level, it's going to first respect the same level as a resistance trend line, which was the real level of a resistance trend line, and also respect the same level of a previous resistance. That makes me believe that most likely it's actually going to be a good idea, in my opinion, to short the pound USD exactly right from that level as a new resistance trend line, and the new signal is going to be posted on 1.11322. Therefore, we can keep this just the same signal. We have to wait for the pound USD to rise for about 70 pips, but we are actually aiming 214 or 216 pips of profit. That's everything for the pound USD. Let's now move to the AUD USD. Alright, so as we can see, my friends, the AUD USD signal has almost reached the take profit level. So let me now delete the entire signal, and let's see now what we can do with this pair. So moving now to the bigger time frame, let's go to the daily chart. Actually, let's go to the weekly chart. Now on the weekly chart, my friends, let me just tell you something. Most likely the AUD USD is indeed going to continue the fall, and eventually the target for the meantime is going to be right here, the nearest resistance to that bullish breakout candle. So right now the AUD USD is actually approaching a support level. So right now we can expect from the market to make a small pullback. However, it's indeed going to continue the fall. So the question is where exactly we can continue shorting the AUD USD. So after confirming the direction on the daily chart, now I don't believe that the AUD USD has any strength to reverse upon the pressure from that support right here at 0.6291. Most likely the market is indeed gonna continue the fall. The bearish movement is so strong, and that support there is not a strong key support level. We will just have to wait for more bearish movement before the market makes any pullbacks. Let me just scroll to the left side to identify indeed the nearest strong key support level, and as we can see, my friends, there exactly at 0.60617 lies the strongest key support level, and that is indeed gonna be the final target for the AUD USD, in my opinion. But for the meantime, and based on the weekly chart, we will be aiming just the nearest resistance to that bullish breakout candle, which means the AUD USD still has 77 pips more to go. But of course, we are not going to sell right from the current price. Let's now move to the 4-hour time frame. Now, let's move to the daily chart. I want to show you this. Now we can see right here, this candle has been formed on the daily chart. This is the candle, of course, of Monday. I believe right now the next candle is gonna be bullish, so we can expect on Tuesday for the AUD USD to make a bullish movement, but not for so long. We are having here, my friends, of course, a broken support level exactly right there as 0.63628. Now we can expect from the AUD USD to make a pullback upon the pressure from that support and continue the rise till it reaches that level of a previous support, and from that level we are going to continue shorting the pair. Not to mention, of course, that we are having here also a resistance trend line, and as we can see, my friends, the market seems like it's respecting this downtrend and seems like it's respecting also that resistance trend line. So we can expect from the AUD USD to continue rising. It's gonna actually first retest the broken support level right here, and of course it's gonna respect the same level of a resistance trend line. Of course, that's all being analyzed on the daily chart. We need to go to the smaller time frame. Let's go to the 1-hour time frame. Now, of course, my friends, let me just tell you something. On the 1-hour time frame, we can see in more details right now. So what we did on the bigger time frame was simply identifying the direction. Now on the smaller time frame, we will identify our entries. But what we can see here on the smaller time frame is simply a retest that has already been formed. We can notice here that we are having the support as 0.63739. Now we can notice that the bearish breakout has already happened and the market has already rose here, retesting the broken support trend line, meaning the retest has already happened. So the question is, where exactly then we can start shorting the AUD/USD? Now the answer lies with the trend lines. Let me just draw here the resistance trend line, my friends. Let me actually draw it from this. We can actually select the levels randomly. I'm going to select this level from this level, or this higher high to this lower high. Now notice something here. No matter where you drag the same line you have drawn here on any lower low or any higher high, you will notice that the market has always been respecting the levels. We can see here resistance trend line has been respected repeatedly, again as a support trend line, and again here as well as a support trend line, and right there as a support trend line. You can drag it actually here and pay attention. The market has already in the past respected the same level as a support trend line and now as a resistance trend line. So long story short, we can actually, my friends, place the same level of a resistance trend line exactly right there. Let me just be more accurate. I need to be accurate, my friends. We need to find the nearest strong resistance trend line, which I believe is right there exactly. Pay attention, my friends, to how the market has been reacting. Now we can see a resistance trend line, and again it became a support trend line, and it has been finally been broken out from. So right now we can expect from the AUD/USD to continue rising. First of all, that resistance trend line is most likely going to be respected, especially after making the bearish breakout from that support trend line. As we can see, we had here a channel, and now let me just draw it for you so it's going to be easier for you to understand, just like that. So right now we are having a channel which has been broken out from. Pay attention, we had here 1 and 2 and 3 false breakouts from it. Now finally we have the real breakout from that level, and actually I cannot say this is the real breakout. We are just assuming based on the analysis on the daily chart and the weekly chart. So right now we can notice here that the market most likely is going to continue rising. First of all, it's going to be respecting the same level of a previous support trend line, and that resistance right here, which was resistance number 1, is most likely going to be respected as well. Therefore, we have to wait for the AUD/USD to continue rising for about 30 pips before we can start shorting it. And there, my friends, goes the level where exactly we can continue shorting the AUD/USD. And of course, the safe zone will be ranging till the highest level of a broken support as 0.63891, which means the safe zone is going to be ranging for about 60 pips. And the target, let me just go to the weekly chart right now, actually daily chart, and squeeze the chart a little bit more. Yeah, exactly. So right now we can see that we are actually aiming approximately 108 pips profit from the signal against 60 pips of a safe zone. There goes the signal, my friends, for the AUD/USD. Moving now to the USD CAD. Alright, so the USD CAD signal is indeed going in the right direction, but what are we going to do for the remaining days of this week? Still, I'm going to keep the same analysis from the last Saturday video, and I'm going to keep the same support trend line. So right now, based on that support trend line, we can notice here, my friends, that the market has indeed created here a real level of a support trend line, and then the same level of a real support trend line has been respected again. Now we can see that the market respected that level one more time. By the way, I can consider this as a fake breakout, if you can say so. Usually I trust the wicks or the tails of the candles, but when I see a pattern like that, when I see a price action like that, I actually consider it as a fake breakout. Therefore, I believe that the USD CAD is actually going to continue the fall, and however, is going to be respecting the same level of a support trend line. Now, we can notice here, my friends, that the market has actually created a support number 1 exactly at the lowest level of this tail at 1.37413. Now we can actually expect from the USD CAD to continue the fall again because it's facing here a resistance level right here, and we can expect a pullback for about 35 pips before we can continue buying the USD CAD. Now pay attention, we are having here also a resistance trend line which has been broken out from, and actually let me go to the smaller time frame to show it to you. 30-minute time frame should be enough. As we can see, my friends, this was right here a resistance trend line. The market has been respecting this level repeatedly, and finally we had here the bullish breakout from it, and right here we can see the support number 1 has been formed. We can simply wait for the market to continue fall again. First of all, it's going to create the second attempt of a support, and second of all, it's also going to create here the third attempt of a support trend line. Pay attention on the smaller time frame. We can see how the market is indeed respecting this level repeatedly. So I personally trusting this level. I'm going to send you the signal that we can start buying the USD CAD exactly from 1.37413. And of course, this time, let me just adjust the target. So the signal is going to be sent out right here. Let me just adjust it exactly just like that. And we'll, of course, keep the same safe zone. And the new signal is going to be sent out on 37413, correct? Yeah. Now, of course, the take profit level has to be changed. Let's go to the daily chart. Now, I believe the market is indeed going to continue the rise, but I believe, of course, since the market is going to continue the rise, meaning the resistance level is going to be breaking out from that resistance level, which was originally our take profit level. So that means the new target, my friends, has to be right here, exactly right there. The nearest broken support level at 1.38689. That is the broken support level, and I believe the USD CAD is actually going to continue the rise to break out from that level of a resistance and reaches the broken level of a support, which means we will actually be aiming, let me just tell you, approximately 126 pips profit from the signals. Meanwhile, the edge of the safe, or sorry, the safe zone will be ranging for about 70 pips. And there goes your signal, my friends, for the USD CAD. Sorry for the mess before. Let's now move to the USD JPY. Alright, so of course, as we can see, the USD JPY is indeed rising like there is no tomorrow. And unfortunately, right now, of course, we can see that the market has indeed broke out from the highest level of a resistance at 145.671. What we can expect right now from the USD JPY. Let's move to the daily chart. Now on the daily chart, we can see that the USD JPY is indeed reaching the highest level of a resistance, and as you can see, it has reversed, or actually almost going to be reversing from that level. It just needs about 20 pips more to rise actually above that level of a previous resistance. Let me just tell you something. I believe that the USD JPY is indeed going to continue the rise. Now, what we need to do is something different. Now I'm going to switch to trading view chart. Of course, MetaTrader doesn't actually show us the charts before the year 2000. Now, if I move to the trading view has this feature actually that allows me to see the charts even in the past, even in the last century, of course. So we can see right here, 1998. The market has indeed, my friends, respected that level as a resistance, respected this level as a resistance on 146.871. We can see that this indeed, my friends, was the real level of a resistance. And if I scroll more to the past, now we can see also, right here, my friends, 1990 actually, and 1989. I was just 3 years old that time. Now we can see that the market has, my friends, of course, indeed respected that level as a real level of a resistance. Then we had here a major false breakout from that level. Now we can see that the market indeed respected that level as a real level of a resistance. Now scrolling more to the left, sorry, to the right, I mean. By the way, we can notice here also, if I zoom in, we can see that the market indeed created here a real level of a resistance as well. Let's scroll more to the right. Now we can see also that the market also created here a real level of a resistance right on the same level at 146.878. Now, let's pay attention to what's going on in the current time. And I'm just scrolling again, keep scrolling till we reach the current time, of course. I'm just not so much familiarized with the trading view charts, guys, sorry. And as you can see, my friends, the market is indeed gonna create here a resistance, a support trend line, and seems like it's actually respecting this level of a support trend line as well. And we can see that the market is actually showing us a very strong bullish movement. We had here on the daily chart 4 blue candles, and we don't see so far any price action indicates a bearish reversal. That being said, the bullish movement is much stronger for the USD JPY at the moment. So I believe that the pair is actually going to continue the rise till it reaches 146.878. Now back to the chart on MetaTrader. Let's just mark our take profit level, which is gonna be 146.878. So that means the target, my friends, is gonna be placed exactly right there. Okay, let's make it, 146.878, correct? Let me just make sure. 146.878, correct, yes. So that's gonna be, my friends, our target, which means we still have about 100 pips to go. But we are not going to start buying the USD from this level. We will be buying the USD only from retesting the broken level of a resistance exactly right there, right here at 145.206. Pay attention. The market has here respected the same level of a previous resistance and created, this is the previous resistance, and the market has already respected that level by creating the first attempt of a support. We are simply going to wait for the USD to fall again, respecting as well the same level of a support to create this second attempt of the support, my friends, and that is of course going to be our buy level. Exactly like that. So meaning we're aiming 116 pips profit from this signal, and of course the safe zone shouldn't actually be ranging lower than this level of a real support at 144.670, which means the safe zone is ranging for about 50 pips, or actually 51 pips against 162 pips of profit. And there goes the signal, my friends, for the USD Moving now to the USD Alright, so the USD signal is also going in the right direction, but sadly hasn't been triggered. So let me just delete the old signal and let's see now what we can do next with this pair. In my opinion, the USD is indeed going to continue the rise. Right now we can see that the market indeed made the bullish breakout from that level of a resistance at 0.99637. Eventually the USD is going to continue the rise till it reaches the highest level of a resistance at 1.00644. However, we still have to wait for about I would say about exactly 100 pips before we can reach the take profit level. So in my opinion, if we now switch to the 4-hour time frame, even to the 1-hour time frame, now we can see, my friends, that the market has already formed right here a support number 1, right there. This is the first attempt of a support, and we can see that it is indeed the highest level of a resistance also on 0.99658. Now we can actually expect from the USD to fall again, making another pullback after it falls for about 30 pips to create the second attempt of the support. That is exactly where we can continue buying the USD. Of course, that's not enough at all. We have to confirm the signal by using the support trend lines. So what I'm going to do is simply draw here a support trend line from this lower low to this higher low, just like that. And notice now you can move the line, and wherever you place your line here, we can see that the market has indeed respected the same level of a support trend line. Now what we can do right here, my friends, is simply like that. Pay attention exactly right here. I need to extend it a little bit more just to show you the power of this strategy. Extend it a little bit more, just like that. Now pay attention here. The market has indeed respected that level as a support trend line. If I extend it even more, now we have here another support trend line, then we have the resistance trend line, and then resistance trend line, and right now we can see that the market is about to create here a new level of support trend line. So this is going to be the support trend line number 1. If the market is going to continue the fall right here, we will be buying the USD on the first attempt of a support trend line, and it's going to be also the second attempt of a support, since we're having here already support number 1. So simply like that, let's just wait for the USD to fall for about 30 pips before we can continue buying the pair. And of course the target is going to be just the same, which means we are aiming, as I have mentioned earlier, 100 pips of take profit level. Meanwhile, the safe zone is going to be ranging for about I would say we don't actually need more than that. It's going to be ranging for about 40 pips or 39 pips, since we're actually relying mainly on that support trend line. So if the market is going to be able to break out from that level and reaches the edge of the safe zone, that means that this setup is no longer valid, and we don't actually need to keep the trade running. Therefore, let me now write the signal for you. And there goes the signal, my friends, for the USD moving now to the gold. which is something funny about it, and I want to say it. I have to say that. One of my fellow traders, he know himself, he know who I'm talking about. He sent me a message telling me that, Salah, I cannot believe that you are telling everyone to sell the gold. It's obviously to the buy. It's obviously going to continue the rise on that, based on that very strong key support level. And I told him, you have to watch my analysis to understand the reason of my decision. But he said, no, I cannot believe it. I was following your gold signals. I was making consistent profits. But now after seeing you telling everyone to sell the gold, I'm going to stop using your signals. I'm moving to a group of British people who are actually more experienced, and they all agreed to buy the gold. And I told them, good luck. You can buy the gold. I don't care to. And as you can see, I just had the happiest moment of my life. I don't know why. I don't like when bad things happens to people, but with that kind of attitude, I'm so happy about what happened, and the gold has indeed resumed the fall. I have no idea what happened to that guy. I mean, it just was so annoying. I mean, I don't like this behavior of like challenging. I mean, trading is so beautiful. I mean, we don't like to challenge each other. We are traders. We have different views. If my view is different from yours, it doesn't mean that I'm a bad trader. If you open now trading view, of course, you can see the ideas of many traders. You will never see them agree on idea. Never. Always there will be some disagreement here and there, and that is of course normal. But assuming that you are a bad trader just because your idea is not matching up with mine, that is a horrible thing. So again, this is not a debate. This is actually just sharing analysis and sharing ideas of the market's moves. So of course, my friends, if my idea didn't work, or if it has failed, it doesn't mean, of course, that I'm a bad trader or I don't know how to trade. It just meant that the market will never ever respect our ideas all the time. It's it is impossible to predict the right direction every single time. You will never see anyone in the world, nobody, not possible. No way on earth that you will see someone who never makes any mistakes analyzing the market, or the market will move on the exact same he predicts every single time. So anyway, sorry for the long speech. I'm just thrilled with what happened. Anyway, let me just tell you my opinion about the gold. I believe that the gold, my friends, after making the breakout from that level of a previous support, the gold is indeed gonna continue the fall. Now, the sell level is gonna be exactly the same line what I have just drawn here for you. Let me just tell you something. After the bearish breakout happened right here from that support at 1681.31, we can notice here that we are having here a resistance level, and we can see here the false breakout. So actually now we can assume that the gold is actually going to continue the rise after making a pullback from that level of a previous resistance. Maybe the gold is going to make a pullback, and however, that level of a resistance, my friends, is most likely going to be respected. We can actually short the gold exactly from that level. Now let me just tell you something. If I moved right now, or actually if I use the resistance trend lines just like that, pay attention. Right here, I'm going to just simply drag the same level of a resistance trend line to that level of a resistance trend line right here. Now look at that. The market indeed respected that level repeatedly. I mean, the same line which I have drawn right here, I just moved it right here, and we can see the market indeed respected that level as a resistance trend line. Now what happened later was a bullish breakout from that level, and again we can see the breakout happened from that level of a resistance trend line. The market has actually failed to create a support trend line. Now we can expect from the market to continue rising again. That level of a resistance right here is most likely going to be respected, and again the resistance trend line is going to be respected as well. Now we are aiming the first attempt of a resistance trend line and the first attempt as well from a resistance, and from that level we can continue shorting the gold, and most likely, my friends, the target is of course gonna be right here, the lowest level of a support, which means we are aiming 600 pips profit from the signal. Meanwhile, the safe zone, actually I need to go to the 4-hour time frame. The safe zone shouldn't actually be ranging higher than that level of a previous resistance. Why? because, my friends, we are actually relying on that level of a resistance trend line. So if the market is going to be able to reach that level, most likely we can actually see the trade running in loss for a few pips before finally becomes in profit. But we are aiming actually that level of a resistance trend line, and then if the market is going to be able to break out from it, we don't have here much of actually a strong level of a resistance, which means if that happens, then the market is indeed going to continue the rise, which I don't believe is going to happen at the moment, not at the right time. Most likely the gold is indeed going to continue the fall till it reaches 1620.99. That's, of course, actually I need to make more realistic targets, so therefore, yeah. Actually, this is more realistic target at 1644.10. I believe the gold is going to continue the fall for about 371 pips before it's going to make any next movements. And of course, the edge of the safe zone will be ranging for about 193 pips. And there goes our signal, my friends, for the gold for the remaining days of this week. Again, we're just hoping for the best. And again, I have to insist that I never ever claimed to be correct all the time. I never claimed that I am better than anyone. No way on earth that I will say that. If anyone have got this idea, he's horribly wrong. I'm always telling you guys that this signal, just because it came from Xtreme Trader, doesn't mean at all that it will be 100% in profit. You have to consider that this signal might actually go in loss. We might actually lose money because of these signals. So make sure that you're always prepared for any losses that can happen. And again, if the signals went in the wrong direction, I will always come up with you. I will always come up with the late week analysis video and the Friday analysis video, doing the best I can to help everyone to grow their accounts using these good signals. And again, my friends, please accept my apologies if anyone have lost money because of my signals. Even in the premium group, we are doing the best we can to make sure that this is going to end up as a very profitable week. Please consider that the market is really hard to be read this week, and we are doing again the best we can to make up to everyone and to make sure that you will end up in a very good profits. So in the end, I hope that is informative to you, and I would like to thank you for watching.